we're going to talk about the movie that we're going to collab on. I have a lot of updates. Met with Ken, my writing producing partner. We do everything together. We both built Burnt Mill together, which is now, I think, like 3.8 million views. We've done a lot of shit.
Who's counting?
Yeah, who's counting, bro? Constantly refreshing that shit. So we met. I love meeting with him, bouncing stuff off. I mean, bro, you have a writing partner that you work really well, creatively, collaboratively. We met him on the spot. I love bouncing off stuff. I let you know that we already had something in the works, as in like this is what prompted our whole conversation about like collabing together on something. As in like, I was like, bro, it's a constant back and forth. Like, yeah, like I made like 100 shorts. Like I want to make a feature, but I've tried making it and like, it's hard to raise money and all this shit. But
Ken doesn't want to do it.
No, he does.
No, I'm kidding.
Come on, bro. Yeah. So basically, the whole methodology behind it is like, there's something called WeFunder. It's like a crowdfunding platform, but it differs from like the Kickstarter and GoFundMe and all that shit where you like get a sticker for donating, which like no one gives a fuck. WeFunder, you're acting as an investor. Typically you can't ask people for money for shit unless they're accredited. What that means is that they need to be making like 200K per year, which is why a lot of people are like, the whole like old school thing is like find doctors and dentists and to like fundraise for your movie. But that shit, if it's like a cold email, it's going to be few and far between for people who want to invest. So the great thing about WeFunder is you can get people who aren't accredited, like just normal, regular, everyday people, because WeFunder itself it acts as the accreditation. So essentially, anyone who donates, you can donate $5 and you're getting 0.00001% of the film's profits.
Yeah.
And what's great about that is then it's like, bro, I hate asking for money for like personal passion projects. I've never done that before because it always just feels shitty. It's like, oh, do you love me enough to like donate to the thing?
I know.
Right?
Yeah.
But what's great about this, dude, I have no qualms about it because you're getting like, if we make money on this movie.
Here's the thing. Yes, I know. Let me jump in real quick.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I need to hear that rest of that. But I've seen some already successful fundraising campaigns for movies. And I have some good ideas, templates we could go off of, which is like, if you donate this amount of money, you get this. If you donate this amount of money, you get this. There's like, you can get creative.
Yeah, you can tier it up for sure.
You can tier it up for sure. Like, people just love like even the ability to go on set. It's like, oh, you get this, and then you get to come on set and watch the dailies and stuff. Like,
we can definitely add those perks in 100%. And I think we should. But the most important thing to me was like, even if we weren't offering that, like at its base level, you're still getting a percentage if it makes a profit. So like we can add this stuff like, yeah, okay, you get, if you donate this much, whatever, you can come on set, kind of check things out. That's cool. But in addition to that, you should also get like a certain percentage.
I mean, hey, sounds nice. I like that. Like, let's do it. But in reality, obviously those movies like have zero chance of making money unless they're an exception to the rule.
Yep.
Right. So like,
but here's the deal, bro. We're working in genre. These are horror projects. And that cuts through all the shit. Like, obviously, we start everything off
play to win. You play to win. Like, yeah, we're setting it so that this is successful. Like,
100%. Limited locations, conceptual wise, we're starting from the place of like, we want to make this thing for 50K. The reason we want to make it for 50K is because that's the minimum raise that you can use WeFunder. Okay.
I would love 50K is a good number.
It's a great, it feels good, right? It feels really good.
It feels like I might make some money on that.
Yeah. No. So, obviously I want to preface everything. Anyone listening, whatever, we'll open this up eventually, but I want to preface it by saying any investment in films is a risky investment, 100%. However, with the caveat, we're stacking the deck in our favor $50,000 is really fucking cheap to make a horror feature properly. As in, we're covering all our legal bases. We're
Dude, people know that's like the cheapest amount to make a movie.
100%, 100%. I've made the $10,000 feature and it hasn't been released. Why? Because we didn't have enough finishing funds or whatever. All the finishing funds, we're not making secondary raises. It's all happening now. So, yeah, that's the first point.
Okay.
WeFunder stacking the deck in our favor. I met with Ken. We talked about two projects. Number one being this first one that prompted this whole conversation. It's based off of the short that I released, I think like a year ago, called Cleanup. It did really well. I think it's our like second most watched video. And essentially, I mean, quick premise, whatever, is like it revolves around the whole service that a lot of people don't know about, which is if someone dies in their home, their family doesn't want to like clean up the residue of their deceased relative. And so they'll hire someone to come in and clean it up. And that's the core concept. So we talked about that. We really outlined the shit out of that. And we also talked about our film. We bounced stuff off. I can write a feature now with this intention of like, I know where it's headed. It's not something where I'm like, yo, like I'm going to write something and hopefully like a manager will like it enough when I submit it to some contest. And then maybe I can get repped. And then maybe that can lead to a pitch. It's like, we're not going all around these different traditional Hollywood bullshit things. And I know we're right there on the same page, right? I know you want to make something. I know you want to rate, like we can be our own studio basically. It's a waste of time to continue making shorts. This actually has intentionality in it. I've written a lot of, okay, I'll get back to that in a second, but I want to talk about our project specifically. I can write a feature in 2 weeks, a first draft. The way that we're breaking it down is Ken and I meet for the outline, really come up with a solid outline. And then I take it for 2 weeks, write the thing, pass it off to him. He gets about like 2 weeks to revise it, 2-3 weeks to revise it. And then we'll have our script. And then during that time, I'm also building out the pitch deck and all the other materials we need for WeFunder. And we're going to put it up. And here's the thing, bro. If that project doesn't raise 50K, then it's a good indicator. It's a good thing, right? It's a red flag for us, meaning like, you know what?
It'll make it. It'll make the money. Even if it was a big,
confident
pile of dog doo-doo, it'd make the money.
The thing is, bro, our thing, I'm confident, especially having your energy on board and everything and us collabing on this shit, 100%, no doubt in my mind. But I'm talking like broad strokes in all of these projects we do, because now this is my full focus. Like no more shorts, no more any like just writing scripts, hopefully, whatever. This is full throttle. So essentially, it's like if one of these projects doesn't go, if it doesn't make that 50K cap within a certain time frame, and that's a red flag for us being like, okay, you know what? We like wrote a script. We're really proud of it. It was cool. But the audience doesn't want this movie, and that's fine. Then it's rinse and repeat. Ken and I meet again. I take the script out for 2 weeks, write the thing, first draft, send it to him, 3 weeks, revise, and then we move on to the next project. So you're second in the lineup. A week from this Saturday, Ken and I, even though we already got a lot of stuff down, we like having a very detailed, structured outline. And so we're meeting on April 1st to specifically talk about our thing. At that point, my cleanup script's going to be done, and then we can move on to this project. And bro, what's exciting about that is only 2 weeks for me to get to a first draft. I'll get notes from him. We can share the script with you. You can hop on to produce, as much as you want. And then, bro, that's the game plan. Then we'll put it up on WeFunder and make it happen.
Dude, I'm so excited and like honored that you're so excited to have me a part of it and like
100%, of course,
push it. And like honestly, it's kind of fun, the idea of me not having to write, for one. And not that I'm like a big writer, but and there'd be elements that'd be fun writing as well. But just the fact that you guys are like super excited about kind of doing your own writing thing, and obviously the outlines, like the vision's already there and stuff too. So and that being said, dude, we're just like we're gonna make this so good because I'm gonna make it my full focus as well. I look at it as a vehicle to leave a mark, like your first film that you're like
Yeah.
stamped on. And obviously, I have other projects I'm passionate about, but I have you as a big director and Ken is a producer and also a director. But like, we will we will make this thing. This is our chance. Like, it's fun to be in the business and stuff, but at the end of the day, there's one currency, and that's a good
Mhm.
product. You got to make it, and there's no reason you can't make a revolutionary product at any stage. And we're all very smart, experienced people that are good at working and collaborating with each other and being easygoing and stuff. So I just look forward to this. Like, it could be so fun.
I think it took us everything that we went through to get to this point because this
Exactly.
makes complete sense to me. Like for the first time, like, bro, it's really fucking hard work. Like, I am taking on the script shit because I know that I have that level of discipline of like 4:30 a.m. Let's fucking go and just knock this shit out. I hate doing it most of the time, but
Yeah.
it's necessary. It's like the missing piece where we have to execute that in order to get these things set up. And I'm happy to do it. You know what I mean? Like it's like really hard work, but at the same time, I'm like, this is the only thing, this is the only way to get to the next level.
It is, dude. And the payoff is potentially life changing.
Massive.
So massive. And at the very first thing, it's just like with value mentality, make something that we're proud of, make something that
Yep.
we want to watch, that we're excited about, that's different, interesting, edgy. And then who knows after that, career wise, what can come from it.
Totally.
I'm curious, what idea are you leaning towards at this point? The cult idea or the holes in the wall?
Leaning towards holes in the wall.
I knew it. By the way, I've brought it up to a few people now. People like both ideas.
Cool.
Yeah, they do. So
Cool.
wait, continue. Yeah.
I'm really vibing with that. We talked about it a little bit, but dude, things can shift on a dime. Like as soon as we get the outline together where we're like on the same page after hours of just, face to face, then I'm like, this is the thing, and I'm doing this. We initially went into that meeting with a different project other than cleanup. But
Yeah.
after like we talk everything out and we realize, okay, this one initial idea that we have doesn't have enough legs to like sustain a feature. So then we moved on to like the cleanup thing, which had kind of been in the back burner. And we're like, this is really fucking sick. Like
What is
this
cleanup?
really
Clean up the name?
cleanup is the name. Yeah.
What does that mean and stuff?
It's based on a short I did. It's about this.
Oh, so that's
That's
I'm
the
sorry,
one.
that's not the holes in the wall though. That's not the holes in the wall.
No,
Okay.
no. Holes in the wall is a different thing. That's the one I pitched you. As of now, that's
That's the title. Holes in the wall. Holes in the wall is not bad.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to cut you off. Continue.
Yeah, so we're gonna talk like, bro, things could shift, but I feel like there's enough detail there and enough. I'm really excited about it. Also, like a huge important piece of this is I have to be excited enough about the concept to like finish it in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? So like as of now, I mean that's a huge thing for me, bro. Like as of now, if we're just talking those two ideas that I pitched you, we came up with the first thing together. Like I'm leaning more towards that one, but I'll let you know, like things can change.
What so I'm curious. The holes in the wall. What else about it? Let's talk about that, dude. Because I was telling people about it, and it's good when you're telling people about it. It makes you like enforce for yourself, like what you like about it and stuff. And to me, it does have elements of like Stranger Things, the latest season, how like you go to the other side or whatever.
Yeah.
It has a feeling of obviously Coraline, alternate
Yeah.
reality, and also like having this feeling that comes from it. But we have to have like, I think something that makes it interesting is you kind of have to have interesting details about the characters and stuff if you're going to care about them going to this place.
100%.
Have you come up with anything else on it since we spoke, or what are you thoughts
I
about
mean,
it?
a
Or
lot of, for me, as far as writing goes, a lot of the character stuff kind of comes with the writing, like when I'm taking it to the first draft.
yeah,
Um,
so you haven't thought about it much since.
well, no, I have. I mean, I've thought more about like conceptual wise of like the world and kind of like visually what I'd like. you know?
What thoughts? I'm curious. What have you been thinking?
The thing that I'm excited about this idea is it merges a lot of my favorite um
Horror
visuals
movies.
I've seen.
Okay.
I'm
Yeah.
I'm really glad you brought up the Coraline thing. That's a huge inspiration. It has always been, you know, kind of like in other sort of
James and the Giant Peach.
that's cool. For me, bro, the thing that I love the most is like the idea of liminal space. Do you know anything about that? Like as far as backrooms goes and like that whole
No, no, no.
basically the idea of like liminal space is like it's it's like a crossing over from like one area that you're supposed to be to one area. So like for example in LAX they've got those like long hallways that like if the fluorescent lights were on and no humans were there except for you and it extended on forever, it'd be scary because there's no function to it and you feel like you're trapped in a way because you're in this like sort of in between area.
Like the underground sewers that people live in under Vegas, the mole people.
Bro, I love all that shit. Yeah.
How can you not? That's like epic. Yeah.
Bro, let's bring them in.
Oh, they happen to live in these holes in the wall, the liminal space.
Dude,
Uh,
everything you know what? Also, another book that's a huge inspiration is called The House of Leaves. It's considered to be the scariest um book of all time. And it came out in like 2000, I think. But it's basically about this, it's like an account of this guy who moves into this house, and the house is bigger on the inside than it is on the outside.
and
And so when he's going through, it's like bro, if you put yourself in that scenario, it's like humans like to categorize shit. So they're like, "Oh, this is my living room," or like this is like a hospital ward or whatever. But like if you're going through places that seem to like have no function, like you know, like a spiral staircase that like seems to go up for like a really long time and then has no like point on the top. It's just like that
uh,
whole idea, that like feeling of that is really unsettling to me.
what
You know,
was the point of the Fields of Leaves? What House of Leaves or whatever?
it's
What's inspiring?
basically it was this guy who like pretty much went psychotic and it's told from his point of view. And there are pages where it's like he doesn't write just linear, what's the
Yeah,
word?
yeah,
Yeah, you know what I'm going.
forward way. Yeah,
It's more like a circle. Like there are pages where it's like written in a circle or like in a pyramid. And like
I don't really see the fear in that though. But
the
yeah,
fear,
so
the
I'm
fear
talking
comes
words.
from
It's
his mental
here.
state, basically. It reminds me of like in The Shining, you know, when Jack is on his typewriter and he's like,
Yeah,
all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, and he wrote it on like 100 pieces of paper and shit.
yeah. I was thinking that too.
There's something, bro. Again, like I want to try and tap into not only like the ingenue shit for you, but like we did the red dress thing, and I want to tap more into that side too.
Dude, I'm honored. I that and all that stuff has so much potential. It's very atmospheric and like plays with the imagination. I want to find something we got to find weight to it too, and that'll come with exploring it. But I'm curious because actually the cult thing is a story. Like that's an intense story that can be like freaky. Step one, step two, step three, step four. I want to find the story in this
You're
too.
right. You're right, dude. As of now, as it stands, it's completely just atmospheric. And like thinking about like what characters could I put in that like incorporates you and like everyone that we've already talked about. The other one I just spent longer on just like fleshing out like these are individual scenes and shit. But dude, I'm excited for once I meet up with Ken, like I'm excited. Like, dude, I could even if you want, because I want to incorporate you as much as I can. Do you want me to like send you the outline for this thing before I take it to first draft?
Dude, keep me as involved as you possibly can. I would be so appreciative and not to micromanage, but I'll just try to like throw in whenever I can
That's
possibly.
not micromanaging at all. I want you to be as involved as possible too.
Let's go. Let's go. I want to collaborate. Because it's such a huge opportunity, and I do love that start already. I love the backdrop of this kind of like awkward alternate reality Coraline stuff. So
Yep,
I want to make something that's atmospheric, but then also has a fucking punch. It's got to
100%.
be, The Ring, great story, great villain, but great story. The Grudge, even I feel like it had a good story. Shining, good story.
The
Like,
entry point for me for all these things though are visuals. Like the story, obviously, like the story comes, but
yeah,
like if you think about the most impactful horror films, it's like when you say The Ring to me, I automatically think of that girl with the black hair. You know,
totally.
it had a great story. Like it was this journalist who like then her kid and all that stuff. But I feel like, I mean, at least for me, like it could be different for other people, but the entry point for me is always like, what are some really scary, captivating visuals that could affect the
Yeah.
culture?
No, yeah, I totally agree. That has to be there. I guess, yeah,
But
I
yeah, dude, I think like I'll meet with Ken on the first, and then we'll come up with an outline. I'll send it to you. Toss out anything you don't want. Feel as free to like throw any shit out, whatever, or change or alter. Think about what kind of character you want if you dig where
yeah,
we're going with the, and all
sure.
that stuff.
It's a great opportunity. I think let's make it poignant. And in addition to being like, even I told you the Candyman just came out. They did that Candyman, and it was like, political and stuff, but people are trying to make stuff. They're trying to cross genres. So right now they're doing like Cocaine Bear. They're doing these movies that are like, and the movie that Tanner was just in with Emil Hirsch, that was like Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but also comedy. And people want to, and Eli Roth does a lot of these like gory porn movies, but they're also have elements of comedy. Why I bring that up is to say not necessarily that we do comedy, but it's got to be fucking clever as well as scary. It's got
Totally.
to be edgy. It's got to have fucking body to the
Well,
characters.
if we're talking about weight as instead of just like visual stuff, like I mean, as it stands now, again, bro, this is like broad strokes. Things could totally shift when like I meet with him.
Yeah.
But that relationship between you and Sarah, as in like her then going into this other world and you having to get, and like there are like strain things we can put in there. Like I think that's for me, like the relationship between those two characters. And again, bro, I have like no specifics, but I
Oh
feel
no.
like
No,
especially in horror, you really have to care about the characters and their journey and their relationship with one another.
here's something else that came to mind too. If
Yeah.
we're doing an alternate reality type thing, holes in the wall, it's got to be so different than Coraline and stuff. It's got to be inspired by that, but it's got to take it 4 steps further. It can't just be a poor man Stranger Things of like, oh, he cares about her, and then maybe we could get away with that, and maybe that strikes a different chord for some reason. But we got to be have imagination, and it might not
100%.
come first, it might not come second, it might not come third, but and that's just my opinion. I'm along for the ride, but it's gotta have teeth to it. It's got to be different.
Totally. And as far as like visuals go too, like sometimes the constraints of budgets actually forces you into a direction if you're like really, if you have all your focus and attention on it and you don't just like put up fucking like paper mache and shit, like you can really come up with clever solves for having like a smaller budget. And things also, depending on the project, the budget will shift. Like 50K is like nothing to work with, but it's enough. As in like the cleanup project, for example, we would need more on like the makeup and prosthetic side of things. For this one, I'm visualizing we need a lot more for set deck. It's like for each project you're on, you think about, and that's what's cool about producing too, is because it can be a really creative thing. Because even how you're talking about it, bro, like you're talking like a creative producer, as in like, okay, this is kind of what we're dealing with and stuff. Now, how do we like maximize it? Like, how do we give it its biggest
I
punch?
and I think the most important thing, as long as we have that vision,
as long as we can storyboard it, point to things and say, this is what we want it to look like, I think we can do it on any budget. Pretend we have no money. Let's get fucking friends to do it, whatever. But people
I
will get
mean, the thing
inspired
is,
if we have
like personnel wise, like, okay, if we're not talking about like any legal shit or anything when it comes to features, which you do have to consider, but like you can pull like people for free and shit, and you can get, I mean, in LA, you can get equipment and stuff in kind and whatever, but
Yeah.
it comes to a point where like you don't want to sacrifice quality. Like 50K is, like you said, bro, 50K is a really good number. 50K is a great number. It's very, very small, but it's like we can't, I mean, dude, the amount of creative things we would have to cut in order to, like, if we were making this for $0, we were trying to create like an entire world for like $0. You know what I mean? Like there are certain things you can do.
What I'm familiar with is there's people that make stuff and there's people that don't. Usually the people that don't are the people that are thinking only about money and they get hung up on like the business side of it rather than the creative. Then there's people that are out there fucking making stuff like you and everything, YouTubes, and they just do stuff. My dad's another one of those people. He doesn't get hung up on the whys. He just makes the script. He figures out a way to raise money, and then everything follows suit. If you put it out there, you do it.
Totally. Totally.
Like, it's not like, oh, this or that. Have the vision, inspire people, because there's people with deep pockets out there. It's just you have to have an offer for them that's good enough.
It's true, but at the same time, we want to make a profit. If this is our first thing that we're making together, even if it's $1,000 profit, it's way easier to make that on a 50K budget as opposed to if we were to like pump it up to like 100K,
I'm saying vision first, budgeting second.
Totally.
Easy for me to say, but like,
complete same page, bro. 100%.
Like, so sick. And honestly, if we have to, we'll raise $10 million. Like, doesn't matter, but let's pretend it's from a place of money is not really an object. Of course, you have to have that business hat on, but vision, story, inspire people, make something have teeth with it and different and that we want to see. And then telling you, there's no way we won't be able to raise money.
That's the attitude, bro. I agree. 100%. This project, whatever the fuck we end up doing together, we're going to get the raise. It's no question, which I'm really excited about, bro. I think we're very ready for it.
As do I. And it's gonna be inspiring. So get ready to make something that's might turn out like nothing you expected to make, in the sense of like, oh, you think this is in a good way of like, hey, this might be like the best thing ever,
Yeah,
and
dude. I mean, some of my favorite films of all time in horror, dude, were made for, like, Blair Witch was made for 60K. Paranormal Activity was made for 15.
Look,
actually, I think Blair Witch was way less.
If we come up with a great story and it's like thrilling and different and stuff and like really good, people might say like that are producing and helping out and stuff, they might be like, dude, I know this other person, they'll definitely be interested in it, and like, you guys should do this for like way more money.
Dude, there's nothing better than like a moving train. People don't want to push the train, but people want to jump on. And if we start getting this thing moving, bro, I mean, we already, as we are now, everything we've done, the project we've done, where we're at now, our energy around this shit, like, we're leaps and bounds far ahead of most people when it comes to first feature stuff. So
no, it's all there. That's why I'm so confident, is because like, it's not even a question.
I'm glad you had the experience too of like seeing your dad growing up, seeing him do these indie features, because that just makes it more of a like tangible reality,
100%, man. And like, we know Dylan Sprouse, hilarious. I was just talking to him about his indie movie he just did with this buddy of mine, that Justin Matthews, that knew from high school, and he directed it and stuff. And like, it's just, it's there. But these people, we could even get them to be in the movie and stuff, but it's just like, the script's gotta be sick. And this subject matter, it's your guys' forte. Let's come up with something that people haven't really seen before.
Are there any people? Here's the thing, bro. We're at the conceptual stage, so I can adjust and flex it however would help stack the cards in our deck. Are there any people in your circle apart from like, okay, number one, the people that we initially had like last year when we were,
Right.
you know, coming with that project, you want all of them on board, correct?
Probably. Maybe Tanner Blaine too, if there's parts in it for them.
Yeah. I mean, but bro, like what I'm trying to say is like, you know, there are certain people that if you get in, you know, if they're in your feature, it ups the value of the cell.
Look, Tanner and Blaine aren't bad. Tanner's got a couple 100,000 followers on Instagram. Blaine's friends with, you know, all these bigwigs, huge people.
Who's Blaine?
He's another kid that it's so funny if you don't know him by name. Because he's one of my good friends from college, but he's an actor and he's doing really well. And we went to college together and we're good buddies. He's been to like one Valley Mentality party, but he's in this new huge TV show. So, and I did an indie movie with him, this fraternity movie. I don't know when the heck it's gonna come out, but anyway,
Killed it in that scene.
that's the one I told you about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, you called from the set. You remember that?
Did the freaking pod from the set.
Yeah.
We don't have that footage. It's like on a hard drive, right?
Oh, we never put that out?
No, dude, I feel like it'd be hilarious.
Hilarious. I definitely have it on a drive. I just have to dig for it.
Someday.
It's
It's tough to get your drives. Do you have that many?
I mean, I think it might be like 5 or 6 that we didn't put out.
But how hard is it to get to them? Is it kind of annoying?
Yeah, it's annoying. I
Okay.
could wrap my mind around it. How about this? I'll finish.
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not pressuring you to do it.
No, dude. We're definitely going to release them. I'll definitely find them. I'd say, how about we wait until I'm done this first draft of our thing, and then I'll dig for it.
That's quicker than I would hope for.
Yeah.
Dude, on a slightly different. So, yeah, so excited about that. Yes, there are potentially big wigs that would want to do it. Never know. Maybe my cousin. Who freaking knows? My point is, we'll talk about it more privately, but like, yeah, start thinking about juicy roles for everyone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'll talk with.
Maybe that's not the best answer on my part, too, mate.
Dude, no. It's all good because a lot of this stuff is up in the air, and again, you need the script first, and then you can approach people, whatever.
Make sure Caitlyn Jenner can be in
it. Yeah, that's number one. That's number one.
Yes,
bro. As always, the concept comes first.
Yep.
You're essential part of this thing. You come first with this concept. That's what I'll start with. I know the people that we have like in mind, the people in the circle, whatever, and we'll kind of meld it around that, and we'll figure out, you know, what we can come up with. But the concept's number one.
Dude, I love it. By the way, I've been learning. I want to tell you, I've been learning Adobe Illustrator on the iPad. It's the like editing software for making logos and flyers and images digitized.
Hell yeah.
And so now, in addition to Adobe Premiere, which editing, I'm learning that too. On your recommendation.
That's what I use.
Yeah, no, you told me to. And all these things, man, I'm just trying to make it so I don't have to hire people anymore for my stuff.
For Valley Mentality, you've been using someone to create the logos and shit.
We kind of like find the fonts and designs. Yeah, I'll hire people on Fiverr. Mental.
Dude, if you can learn that, that's awesome, bro.
Right?
I mean, that's sick. And I'm excited you're using Premiere too.
Dude, that was thanks to you. I appreciate it. Doing it. Got the camera, it's all gravy.
Have you shot anything on that camera?
I have. The Valley Mentality party.
Oh yeah.
Well, we got a lot of good stills. My friend showed me really how to make the most of it, but I've been playing around and stuff. Yeah, I want to do a good video on it. We'll see. The camera, the best thing, apparently, the film settings. It simulates the look of film so well.
I'm excited to see it. Dude, I don't even have an eye to be like I guess I could watch old movies and be like, oh yeah, that's more film like. But if you took like a digital shot thing and then you made it look like film, and then you took actual film, like I can't tell the difference.
I think now I'm just seeing on Instagram and stuff because I've started. You should definitely start doing this, by the way, and we'll always talk and collaborate together. But started taking photos that I appreciate and I save them and see, and I want to learn why those settings, how they got them, how it looks and stuff. The film thing is mainly just to me grainy. It's kind of like grainy and like it looks kind of like stuck in time. Look,
Hell yeah. I'm excited to see him, bro.
right? I appreciate it, brother. How are you doing, by the way? Everything, day job good?
Everything's great.
Here we go.
Sounds like you're killing it too.
Yeah, man.
I'll keep you posted on everything. Okay.
Wait, yeah, let's talk in between this during the week and stuff.
Sounds good. Have a good week, man.
You too,
All right.
my man.
Bye.